on the other side of the pond talk about our treaty with such good words coming from his heart, and he was such an amazing man. And that was the minister Robertson, and he was a wonderful, wonderful fellow. So I would like to call forward now another friend of the Nisga'a Nation. He's been around here for quite a while now. Many of you might have seen him when we signed our final agreement. He's the Deputy Minister of Crown-Indigenous Relations for the Government of Canada, and representing the Government of Canada, Mr. Dianiel Quan-Watson.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Smogit Job. Thank you, matriarchs and chiefs. Thank you to the Nisga'a people for allowing us to be here to celebrate this moment with you today. This is a remarkable moment in reconciliation. And it is not lost on me that it was one of my direct predecessors in Duncan Campbell Scott who played a role in allowing this great wrong to happen that we are setting right today. So it's a particular privilege to me to be the Deputy Minister who follows in that office, to say that I am glad that we are able to set this right. I'm here on behalf of the Government of Canada today, on behalf of my Minister, the Honourable Gary Anandasangri, Minister for Crown-Indigenous Relations, and I know that if he were here, he would want to recognize his parliamentary colleagues, Mr. Singh and Mr. Backrack, and welcome them here today as well. Many times, the Nisga'a have asked us to help to make the world a better place. In 1887, they paddled a journey down to Victoria and asked that the rest of us help make the world a better place. For many decades, before Canada and British Columbia were willing to negotiate a treaty, they asked that we make the world a better place. And the late Joe Gosnell, Dr. Joseph Gosnell, who, along with many of you here today, I had the privilege to hear and to learn from, reminded us that the world is our witness. And today, again, the world is one more time our witness. And one more time, because of the journey that the Nisga'a have invited us to be a part of, we are showing that it is possible to make the world a better place. I want to thank all of the Nisga'a delegation that traveled. I want to thank the Scottish National Museum. I want to thank my colleagues in the federal government, the Canadian Heritage, and particularly the Canadian Armed Forces, and so many others. And I want to thank our partners in the government of British Columbia for helping to allow the world once again to be our witness and to allow it to be made just that much better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dianiel. Dianiel has always provided a pathway for his government to communicate in a good manner with us, and we're always so grateful for him and his staff and all the other deputy ministers that sit in groups that Dianiel runs, like Deputy Ministers Oversight Committee and others, where we have that opportunity to articulate some of our wishes as a people. It is always wonderful. It is also wonderful to have the Premier of our province here with us today, Premier David Eby. So I'd like to call David forward and allow him to be our final speaker this afternoon, Mr. David Eby. Just so everybody's aware in the crowd, he's playing for the Kaskask in this year's tribal tournament.
Singanamanak, President Clayton, thank you very much for welcoming me and Minister Murray Rankin to the territory. It's a great honor to be here today. I want to thank Smugit Morgan. He briefed me about the right way to start my remarks today, to start by going over to the ancestors to acknowledge their return before speaking. So I want to thank him for that helpful advice. Please let me know if you see Andrew sneaking up behind me, because I have a couple of things I wanted to share with you today. I married a beautiful Scottish woman. I'm as surprised as you are. She likes tall guys. Her dad was born in Greenock and was over last night to hang out with our family, hang out with the kids. And I was talking with my son and with his grandpa and with his mom and his sister about coming here today, about what was happening here today. And my father-in-law from Greenock, he said he remembered going to museums in Scotland. He never went to the National Museum, but other museums, and recalled the wonder of seeing these things in the museum from all over the world. And I could see as he was talking about it, in the context of what we're doing here today, a little discomfort with where did these things come from in the museum? You know, were they gifted? Were they bought? Were they taken? And I could also see, as we talked about it, a sense of pride in both him and his daughter that the government of Scotland was doing the right thing. That as dual citizens of the UK and Canada, that they could be proud of the things that were happening in the country of their origin, as well as the things that are happening in the country in which they live. And I wanted to thank the Nisga'a people for your leadership in showing a way forward for all of us. You know, our government is committed to reconciliation, and people ask, well, what is that? What does that mean? Is that words? And words are important. Words are laws. Words reflect and approach government to government. Territorial acknowledgements, these are important aspects of reconciliation. Words of treaties that need to be respected. But actions like today, actions bring people together. All of the people here who are witnesses to this amazing event, who will go and tell other people about what happened here and share the experience and the feeling that we all have that something right is happening, that we're healing something together. Actions, as President Clayton said, reconciliation in action. This is how we're going to move forward. This is how we're going to build something new. As the representative, Mr. Devine of the Government of Scotland said, it's an inspirational day for all of us. And that's why I see so many people here representing so many different groups. I see the Mayor of Terrace over there. I see my friend Terry Teegee, the Regional Chief for the Assembly of First Nations. I see Ellis Ross, MLA from the other side of the house. We finally found something we can agree on, Ellis. Good news today. Big breakthrough happened here. Andrew says I'm coming. Okay, I'll wrap it up. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great honor to be here. And please share what you saw here today with the people that you love, with your communities, and let them know that we're on the right track. Thank you, Nisga'a people.
I really want him to play for us next year. Just put him in the middle with my brother. I really want to share one thing with everybody. The former Premier of British Columbia and his staffer were big advocates of what we were doing in Scotland. And Don Bain is standing in front of me, hiding behind people. Yeah, just tucking away. And we were in the midst of our discussions in Scotland and really hoping for some support from our treaty partners. And one of our treaty partners stood up on Twitter right away. And it was the former Premier of British Columbia, Mr. John Horgan. So I would like to put my hands together for the former Premier of British Columbia, who unfortunately couldn't make it today, and give him a big round of applause for what he did for the family. It is amazing what Twitter does when people tweet and do all that stuff all over the place, so I was really excited. We have one more cultural piece to take care of, and I'm going to ask the kindness of everybody there that to wait for the announcement that'll come from the Ganadas. And so I will call forth Samagat Simsan, and he will provide the announcement on behalf of Samagat Nishjaw. Samagat.
Why sim giga Sigdam Hana and Han excubulsit can cupboard gate scoffed him Sadami lumped out Samogid Laha Wilkinam Amasa goodness no. Nism lumped out some nism and ginams Kagikam Algiach Sarkun Ni Samogit La Ni Samogit Tu Ni Samogit Nis Use Tumbled Panay Miss Samogit Tayon Innocent Bagus White and a Boston Some dogs some nism Will back some Kun get some amagagot some is some orget Can will some dogs eat nism Why sim gigiat Sigrim Mahana 2:30 Tumkat will walk Ilam Christ Samogit Hanex Nism the Miss Hawkskut Iluga hit God will need to act Tum chilm act kubut case Tum kach hoy lik selgiach chiefs, matriarchs, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly our youth and children. Smoggit Nisjo has invited each and every one of you to share a meal, and the doors will be open at 2:30. And he is very sorry that there is not enough room for the children. So there will be no children allowed into the feast hall. Dog si han exnesum kabite.